Well, that was sure something, wasn't it? I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Dynamite. It's AEW Beach Break. Okay, that's enough of that. I'm pretty certain half the viewers just turned the show off and said, well, I'm never watching this weird guy again. But for those of you that are still here, thank you very much. And you know that I've tried to be more kind to AEW since, it takes a while to put a good wrestling promotion together, especially on weekly television, when you've got a bunch of moving parts and you're trying to get these moving parts going in the correct direction, and you're trying to make sure that everybody's on the same page, but everybody can do their own thing and have fun and be themselves. Here's the thing. AEW has trended towards WCW 98, early 99, for a bit, and it really hit that freaking peak with the whole Winter is Coming event. And this is highlighting the fact that while WCW, in 98, 99 actually had some pretty damn good shows, even with, the bad creative and the fact that it really didn't have good management, there was also a lot of really sloppy shit, and this was some of the sloppiest shit. Outside of one match that I really enjoyed, there were a few other parts that I didn't mind on this show, but overall, this is one of the lesser episodes of Dynamite, and I was looking forward to this. The whole Beach Break thing, fucking hell, it was like Beach Blast 92. All they were missing was Shivani and Jesse Ventura in Hawaiian shirts, but given the fact that it was like 45 degrees outside, it probably wouldn't have been a good idea to do that. They tried with this, but this show was really fucking messy in my opinion. So we start off with the Tag Team Battle Royal, but first, a bunch of teams just around the ring. Like, okay, we did all our entrances and we're just here. I will say that the crowd, even though it is a smaller crowd because, the state guidelines and all that, and they're trying to keep people safe, the crowd was pretty goddamn loud. So what crowd was there? They were doing a lot to, bring the energy up, and they actually had a pretty funny line during the wedding angle that I'll talk about. Jurassic Express, they make their entrance. Tua Pop, Marco's not there. Wonder why Marco's not there. We find out a little bit later. And so here's my question, though. FTR was taken out of this match, given a 1-week suspension because they cut the, horns off of Luchasaurus's dinosaur mask. Okay, so Omega and Callis can screw over Moxley, take the championship to Impact, and do all this shit and stuff like that. And, we'll develop a partnership with Impact, and we'll do this, and we'll pretend like it's an invasion and all that. But no, the best tag team in the world, or at least one of the best tag teams in the world, cut the horns off of a rubber dinosaur mask, and that's a 1-week suspension. It makes no fucking sense. I get that it's supposed to be entertainment, but what the actual shit? What the fuck is this? If you didn't want FTR to be in the match, don't put him in the goddamn match, and then they could talk about how they were screwed over, but I liked what Jungle Boy and Dax did on Dynamite last week. That was one of the best matches I've goddamn seen. But what the fuck was this? Anyway, so FTR and Tully, they're out. So now we have a tag team battle royal. Here are the teams that are in this match. By the way, the winning team gets to face the Young Bucks at Revolution. The Bucks are in this. The Blood Bucks is what I'm going to call them. You can figure out why if you look at them. If they win, they can select their opponents. And they've already said they're going to want to face the Good Brothers. Home of the Good Brothers, may we take your order. So, Jurassic Express, Silver and Reynolds, they replaced FTR, Private Party, MJF and Jericho, Sammy Hagar. We even got the actual Sammy Hagar cutting a little bit of a promo about, oh yeah, these guys are going to do great and everything. Hey, at least seemed like he was in good spirits, so that's all good. Probably a big check they had to cut off to him. Santana and Ortiz, Top Flight, The Acclaimed. I did like how The Acclaimed interrupted the Inner Circle. We're actually going to tie that into a match next week. And Uno and Grayson. Bucks just dive off of separate parts of the stage because Young Bucks always, have to do video game shit. Look, they can do some good psychology. They can do some good wrestling when they want to. But often it's just video game shit, flippy shit. It's not for me. This was an instant train wreck, an instant clusterfuck, and I got what they were trying to do. They were trying to tell some good stories and do that. And Battle Royals usually are messes. Fuck, even the Royal Rumbles have been messes, but this was a hot goddamn mess. And not even a good kind of hot mess. This is just a hot fucking mess. At least Hager got eliminated early. That's good because nobody needs to see white bread proud boy Hager in there. Chokeslam to Grayson outside. Luchasaurus took out everybody, but then he got taken out. That was actually a pretty good spot. The silly string got blocked, and I don't know why that line made me laugh. JR was taking the piss out of everything here. Now, JR I have been critical of, and rightfully so, but there were times where he was picking on the show, and it kind of actually made sense, because a lot of this was, JR's like, well, I'm getting 7 figures a year, so whatever. I'll try, but I've tried a whole bunch. Oh my God, did I try? And I'm just gonna, be all by God, and I'm just gonna take the piss out of shit I don't like. Silver gets eliminated. I will say this Silver actually did a pretty good job here. Silver, I still, Dark Order gimmick, it is what it is. Silver, I will say, as far as a mid-card babyface, I think could be pretty damn good, and he is really strong. Despite being compact, he is really strong. Santana and Ortiz are gone. The Good Brothers show up and eliminate Cassidy. Isaiah Cassidy. The other Cassidy shows up later. Caster eliminates MJF as Sammy cheers. That was actually pretty nice. And then Jericho win for his team. Sammy storms off, and that ties in a little bit later. Great. We have Jericho and MJF going after the tag titles. Watch them beat the Young Bucks. I would be glad to see MJF get a championship at Jericho. Jericho didn't do jack shit until the very end here. Because he can't do anything. Because he's fucking wiped out. They did a video package on Jade Cargill. She looks like $1 million. If she can wrestle half that good, then she's going to do great in wrestling. It's going to be odd to see what happens because they're actually going to do that mixed tag on March 3rd. Not at the pay-per-view. Oh boy, maybe TNT mandated that. I hope it works out better. But Jade does look like $1 million. Shivani is there to interview Sting and Darby. Sting shows up. It does absolutely nothing except say a few things. Team Taz interrupts. And they're not allowed in the building after taking out the merch guys, but, they would just run away from Sting because he's a 61-year-old man with a bad neck, and he would just point his bat and done this because it's 1997 all over again. Oh, wait, no, it's not. I love 1997, as far as WCW, but come on, guys. I was 16 goddamn years old, and Sting didn't really have a lot of good years left after that. And now it's 2021. I love Sting, but no, this is not going to fucking work. Is this going to help Darby? I hope so, but I'm not optimistic. And let me be honest, I'm critical of WWE when they use legends in the wrong way, and I hate to say it, but this whole thing with Sting, it ain't going to fucking work. I don't think it is. But if you like it, that's fine. And I want to say, if you guys like any of this stuff that I didn't like, that's great. You guys can sound off in the comments, please. So they'll be there next week when Darby faces Janela. This is what I think's going to happen. Janela and Darby are going to have a match that's going to go 5 to 7 minutes. Team Taz is going to rush the ring. They're going to knock out Janela. They're going to, hit Sonny Kiss because Sonny Kiss will be at ringside. And they're going to beat up Darby. And then Sting's going to be there. And Sting's going to do a couple gut shots with the bat, because he'll maybe be distracted or show up later because you have to wake up Granddad Sting. And then get there. Oh, no, everybody, look, an old man's talking. And then Sting's going to show up. And then Team Taz is going to run. But they're going to take everybody out. It's going to either end in a non-finish, or it's going to end with Darby beating Janela in about 7 minutes. But it's going to end with everybody being laid out. That's what's got to happen. You got to do something with Team Taz. You got to do something better than what you've been doing because they can't keep running away from old man Sting. It's not the man called Sting, it's the old man Sting. He did say to Ricky Starks, Ricky, you say you don't see the icon anymore. You better take a closer look. What I see is a guy that keeps collecting money. That I don't blame him for collecting, but a guy that is well past his sale date. Probably smells like freaking musty mothballs. And I love Sting. Imagine if I didn't like Sting. Britt Baker with Reba versus Thunder Rosa. Finally, something good that I was looking forward to. These two ladies fucking killed it. Britt Baker has absolutely improved and sunk her teeth into this, heel role. I have nothing but good things to say about this match, and I'm not really going to spend a lot of time on it, but Thunder Rosa was great. I fucking love Thunder Rosa. Britt Baker has done really well with this heel work and has done really good to, as far as improving in the ring. Reba did her spots well. There was some good shit here. Britt targeted the knee and the shoulder. It's like Britt loves to be on top, says Shivani. Okay, Shivani, after that whole thing where he interrupted her and Ricky Starks flirting on the waiting room, that sounded a little bit weird. The swinging neckbreaker on the ramp, stiff drop kick in the corner. That looked really rough. That was some good stuff, though. Rosa fights out a lockjaw. We get a stomp, the lockjaw, reversals, really good stuff. Well, the referee doesn't, he sort of sees, but doesn't see Reba take off the middle turnbuckle pad. This factors into the finish. Thunder Rosa gets hit face first into that. And then Britt locks on the lockjaw, but Thunder Rosa's completely out. Can't even tap out. She can't say anything. I mean, she would have had the mouthful anyway, and that's it. Goodbye. Thunder Rosa loses. This isn't the worst thing in the world if Thunder Rosa knocks her out of the tournament. And they got the world title eliminator, or the women's world title eliminator tournament coming up. I liked it, though, because it didn't make Thunder Rosa look stupid. She got beat, with a, because Britt Baker's like, oh shit, I can't out-wrestle her. I got to outsmart her. Thunder Rosa is an idiot, but she got caught. This was good stuff. This is a fabulous women's match. This was really good shit. This is an example of what they could do with the women's division if they put some build behind it. Build your women up, and do some good shit. And then we go to footage from last week. Hardy wants to team with Paige, and Paige is all like leery. And we're gonna have a match for this week against Chaos Project. Oh boy, Luther! It's not bad enough that guy's on Dark. Let's put him on Dynamite. I got nothing against Serpentico. I think he's a mid-card guy, and maybe putting him in a tag team isn't the worst thing in the world, but I don't mind Serpentico. He can do some good shit. All Luther does is scream and do nothing. Hardy is washed. He's a fine character. He is washed in the ring. Paige and Serpentico tried to make this work. Buckshot to Serpentico later, and then Hardy blind tags and gets the win. And Hardy's like, "Oh yeah, we won." And then Paige is like, "Yeah, we won." And the fuck am I even doing? Paige has got to be wondering, what the fuck am I even doing? I know it's eventually going to build to Paige taking the title off of Omega, but at this point, I don't really care who takes the title off of Omega, and I'll explain why in a bit. So, the Women's World Title Eliminator field, Japan side, Aja Kong, Yuka Sakazaki. Gonna say right now, if I screw up any of these names, I'm very sorry. Yuka Sakazaki, I love the Genie Girl. Vena, Veni, really apologizing there. Emi Sakura, Ryo Mizunami, Mia Segura, and Rin Kokakura, and Maki Ito. Ito-chan, I like her. I like Maki. She's interesting. She also likes to swear a lot on Twitter, and I can appreciate that. I think that's going to be interesting. Those are going to be the matches taking place mainly in Japan, which I think is the right call. You can branch out and show. It's like the WCW New Japan partnership. And hopefully maybe this gets more fans, U.S. fans, into maybe watching Japanese women's wrestling. And Aja Kong, I'm actually amazed that they got Aja Kong to do this, because Aja Kong's been wrestling a really long time. And she can still do some really cool monster stuff, but she ain't got a whole lot of time left. So at least it's a good, as far as an in-ring career. So at least they're doing some stuff with her here. But as long as they do something right here, I would actually not mind seeing I wouldn't mind seeing Aja Kong win it, but I think what they're going to have, I don't know who the fuck they're going to have win. Who do you think's going to win on the Japanese side? Let me know in the comments. And then we have on the U.S. side, Serena Deeb, Riho. For the love of God, don't let Riho win this championship. If Riho wins his championship back, just take the title and throw it in the trash. It's nothing against Riho. It's not that Riho isn't talented. She was not a good idea to be the first women's champion, and it wouldn't fucking work if they decided to do this. Anyway, Britt Baker, Ty Conte, Thunder Rosa, Layla Hirsch, Nyla Rose, and Anna Jay on the U.S. side. I look forward to this. It's nice that they're featuring this stuff with the women, and hopefully we get to see, hopefully they don't just put this on YouTube. They might have to put the Japanese women's matches on YouTube. They have to do that. I will make sure to review them. They just need to release them in chunks, like do, say, 4 1 week, 4 another week, and then, do that and just have some really good action. I don't know how they're going to do this exactly, but it's going to be interesting. Then we get Jericho and MJF wanting to celebrate with the Inner Circle. Sammy's upset. He leaves. Jericho follows, and then MJF says, "Hey, we need to talk. Wardlow, close that so we can talk." MJF's going to take the Inner Circle from Chris Jericho. It's going to be petty theft at that point, because the Inner Circle is pretty much washed as far as, being any serious threat. But hey, at least they're building something. I ain't going to care about Jericho once he, has the rug pulled out from under him, because he's probably too drunk to realize, what's happening. But it is what it is. So, Kip and Penelope's wedding. First, Shivani interviews Kip, Miro, and Vicky interrupts and says it's time. We got 30 seconds into that before we got to Father James Mitchell as the priest. Okay, his track record in wrestling weddings recently is not exactly good. Nobody got shot at this one, thankfully. But was it Father James Mitchell that was actually the, pastor, the overseer of that, whole bullshit thing they did on Impact, the shooting? Because everybody wants to see a wrestling wedding end in a shooting. What the fuck? And I didn't watch the Fallout, and if you did and you liked it, that's fine. Anyway, Jerry Lynn leads Penelope to the ring. JR takes the piss out of this whole thing instantly. I mean, he is just railing against this. They do their own vows. I didn't mind the shots at WWE. But at this point, AEW and NXT, everybody's just taking shots at everybody. It doesn't even feel like the Monday Night Wars. It just feels like, oh, you're going to take a shot? Well, I'm going to take a shot at you. I'm going to do this. And Shelbyville and Springfield, that kind of stuff. So we burned down their city hall. They said they'd get back at us by spiking the water supply. Ooh, the walls are melting again. I think I'm quite done. Thank you. Enough of a sidetrack right there. Mitchell hammed it up, and I will give him credit for that. Miro's like, I've been there before. Let's move on. Let's not do, forever hold your peace. You may now kiss the ball and chain. At least Mitchell tried to make the most of this. And Kip and Penelope, honestly, they say that this is where they legit got married. I don't know if that's actually true. Maybe that's just something they put out there. Good on Kip and Penelope. I wish them nothing but the best. They both seem like very nice people, and they have improved in the ring. So I'd like to see what else they could do. But I wish them nothing but the best with their wedding. With their, with the honeymoon, their life, all that. Honestly, they deserve nothing but the best. They seem like very good people. And then it's a toast, and Miro talks about his past weddings. Kip, I am your present, my knowledge, my all this. I am your everything. Yeah, and then Miro busts Charles's gift open. That isn't a euphemism. He actually fucking did that, and it was a big box. But it's like, oh, I've seen this before. And then he said at first, like earlier in this, what is love? And the crowd started doing the Hathaway song, Baby Don't Hurt Me No More. And the crowd sings. And then Miro, like, actually goes along with it. You could tell he's into it, but then he's like, oh shit, I gotta heal it up. No, stop. This is my moment. And Chuck, don't call me Charles Taylor, had gone outside. Remember, this is the last night where he actually had to be, or he only had to be the butler until the wedding. So technically, he didn't have to be this. He didn't have to be the butler for this, but he had to go along with it. So he shackles Miro's leg to the ring post or the rope or something like that, and then Charles pushes Kip into Penelope, who goes into the cake, and then Orange Cassidy was in the cake, more like Orange Cakessidy. Worked hard on that one, and then yeah, this was shit. I just don't like the best friends. I don't like this feud. But I wish nothing but the best for Kip and Penelope. Shaq on Inside the NBA last week. I'm going to do it. He's going to wrestle. They're going to do Shaq and Jade versus Cody and Red Velvet on March 3rd. Oh boy. If that's a live show. I really hope that Jade and Red Velvet can do some good stuff. Red Velvet's been pretty good. I don't know how that's going to go. I really don't. I'm shocked it's not on pay-per-view. Archer versus Kingston. No DQ lumberjack match. Okay, I praised what they did before in their first singles match. I am not going to praise this here. And I like Archer and I like Kingston. The Lumberjacks, by the way, were Gun Club, Bear Country, who I like. I've been impressed with them on Dark. Butcher and Blade, and the Bunny. Oh boy, the Bunny. TH2, Varsity Blondes, Avalon, and others. I'm sure there were others. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to all this stuff. Lumberjacks just brawled, and Archer does a dive later. This was more about the Lumberjacks brawling, who really haven't had a ton of interactions. Bear Country, tangle with Butcher and Blade, which actually was kind of nice. That was actually pretty damn cool. And then Archer had tried to black out the Bunny, but no, backfist out of the ring. And then Jake fell down on Angelico. And then we had Bear Country attack Butcher and Blade. So maybe we get Bear Country actually being signed by AEW, which they're two big brawlers. This could work. And then Blackout for 3. FTR and Tully, Fear of the Revelation. Next, we'll have, or it's like, oh, keep me out of the championship match. And then next, we'll handcuff 2 guys to a dinosaur. They have Marco. If this is a way to write Marco off of AEW programming, I am all for it. They kidnap Marco. What would bad guys do? They kidnap a midget. That's exactly how it works. Worked in the land of Oz. Anyway, Darby and Janela next week. Janela thinks he'll win. Again, I think it's going to end in a big schmoz with Team Taz attacking. Jericho and MJF versus The Acclaim. Rhodes and Johnson versus Avalon and Cesar Bononi. Omega and Good Brothers with Callis versus Mox, Pac, and Phoenix. Well, he cut Callis off and went to commercial. Unfortunately, this means that he's on commentary. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to listen to Callis ego stroke himself and Omega on goddamn commentary. I get that they're trying to be heels and they're trying to do this. This Impact Division ain't fucking working for me. I have no desire to see Omega as champion. And I knew he would be champion, but it's how they've been doing it. He is great chasing the world championship. Like the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Once he won it, by the time he defended against Cody, and by the time he defended against Ishii on the Destruction Tour, I mean, even by the Cody match, the bloom was off the rose. Nobody wanted to see him have a long reign, or at least the vast majority of people didn't seem to. It seemed like it cooled off. Great match that he had against Okada to win it, though. 2 out of 3 falls. That was really good shit. But anyway, Mox, Pac, and Phoenix enter from the parking lot, seemingly. And later we get a bunch of moonsaults outside. We get, the spamming moves at the end. I did not care for this match. I didn't. I'm sorry. I just don't care about this Impact partnership. And Archer, with Magic Killer pins Phoenix. And then Archer shows up and lays out everybody. Mox and Omega are left alone in the ring, and what the hell's going on? Somebody shows up in a mask and a hood, and it's Kenta, because he wants his shot at Moxley. Mox showed up and faced off against Kenta, New Japan Strong, and now we get the GTS from Kenta. He strikes, and now we're getting that match on February 26th, which I may review that particular episode of New Japan Strong, but I review so much stuff. But I just got to be honest, I had a lot of shit to say about this show, but that's all I got to say about it. This was not a good episode of Dynamite. The ending was cool with Kenta showing up. That was nice. Callous ego stroking himself. Callous can fuck the hell off. The women's match was pretty good. There were a couple other good moments, but a lot of the show, I had to rant about it because I am sick to death of people saying that, oh, you need to like AEW just because it's not WWE. No, I want to like something because it's good. I don't want to like something just because it's not this. It needs to be good, and if it's going to be bad WCW, I'm going to fucking call it bad WCW. Anyway, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm Charm Ritlin. I'll see you soon.